Look, son, I'm sure it's fine. I don't know why I have to look everything over. I mean, I trust you implicitly. I mean, you and I are one, right? You did? You put that in there? Okay, well, look, see, this is your gig, all right? I mean, you should be able to go down and say whatever you want to say, do whatever you want to do. I mean, I don't want to be one of those helicopter parents who is constantly, hovering over you, making sure everything's right. That's not how I roll. Right, all right, bye-bye. Hey, Lucy, what's up?
I don't know what to say. I am so proud of you.
I'm sorry, you're...
So proud of you.
I did hear that right. Wow, okay. Why? What did I do?
This whole New Testament thing. I mean, there's some beautiful stuff in here.
Oh, yeah. I was just talking to Jesse on the phone about it. It's great stuff, isn't it? I think...
It is such a drastic change from your earlier work. I'm so proud.
Well, people change, right? Even deities.
Yeah, but this is so drastic.
Well, I wouldn't say that it's so you think it's so drastic?
Are you kidding? It's like night and day.
Really? Like what?
Like what? Like judge not lest ye be judged?
Well, that's just your basic live and let live, isn't it?
Right, except up until now you've been more live and let die.
That's true.
Yeah, and this whole turn the other cheek thing. I mean, it's beautiful.
Well, I told you I was going to be more accepting of the gays, right?
No, oh no, I mean where you say if someone harms you, you don't harm them back. There's no more eye for an eye.
Oh, yeah, well, because, I'm thinking that if everyone's doing the whole eye for an eye thing, how is anyone supposed to enjoy Titanic in 3D? I mean, you need binocular vision for that, right?
Right.
I mean, so far, this doesn't sound drastic. Is there anything...
Oh, the whole pray in secret thing. Don't make some big ostentatious display of your religiosity, especially in public.
That is my favorite part.
Yeah, and I really love how the early Christians have everything in common, how they sell all their possessions and distribute the money to those in need.
Wow, I had completely forgotten about the whole redistributing wealth thing. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I think in a more general sense, I just really like your emphasis on taking care of the poor and warning about the dangers of wealth.
Really?
Oh, and I really love the part where he says it's easier for a rich man to go through the eye of a needle than to get into heaven.
Yeah, just hearing it back here for the first time, I'm just wondering, boy, does that sound a little bit too much like class warfare?
No, not at all.
Because, I'm foreseeing a potential small problem here with cash flow if our people aren't well-to-do.
But if the people follow this, then everyone will be a little more well-to-do. Like when Jesus feeds the 5,000.
I'm sorry, he what? He feeds 5,000 people?
Right.
Oh. Okay, that probably takes care of the cash flow problem because that's a big catering job, right? And if I know my boy, the profit margins on something like that have to be absolutely Jobsian.
Now, don't you remember, silly? He feeds them for free.
Free.
And then he heals the sick. No copay. It's all free.
Free. I probably shouldn't have let him grow his hair out and start wearing those bell-bottom jeans. Do you remember anything in there about trickle-down?
Trickle-down? Oh, yeah. There's a story about the poor guy who exists solely on the table scraps from the rich guy. I assume that's your metaphor for trickle-down?
Yep, absolutely. What happens again? I forget.
Well, they both die. The poor guy goes to heaven, rich guy goes to hell, and Father Abraham won't allow the poor guy to help the rich guy even with some water, because the rich guy never helped the poor guy when they were alive.
Again, hearing it back for the first time, I am just wondering, boy, does that sound a little too eye for an eye?
Oh, I don't think so. I love it.
Me too. It's great. Of course, as my loyal opposition, I'm going to need you to go down and muddy the waters a bit because this is just way too easy to believe in. I mean, who's not going to love this stuff, right? Except for the rich.
What do you need me to do?
Well, I'm just thinking give them some alternate philosophy, maybe provide an alternate savior figure.
Nazism, communism, Stalin, Mao?
No, that's too hard. I'm looking for something softer because you know what? I'm just thinking right now, this might be a good one to throw to the ladies.
I don't think I know of anybody.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. I was looking through resumes earlier today. Check this little chickie out.
Ain?
Is it Ain or Ein, or is that just a weird way to spell Anne? I don't know. But you know what? I think you're really going to dig this chick because not only is she on your team already, she's an atheist, but she writes a mean novel from what I hear.
And you think the Christians will go for someone like this?
Yeah, I think they could, definitely, especially in America, because she is going to be the Madonna of free market capitalism.
Is this really fair, though?
It's more than fair. It's laissez-faire. And here's the good news. This is a topper for you.
Yeah.
I think when you reel in your net at the end of the day,
yeah,
you're going to find a bunch of skeptics in there too. Thanks again for watching. You know, we've got the big election coming up next week and Halloween tomorrow, and I don't know which one is scarier. You may not know this, but I am one of the coveted undecided voters. I was going to vote for Mitt Romney because he's a Mormon. I used to be a Mormon, but then I thought, boy, all of our previous presidents, with the exception of Obama, have been Christians. And Billy Graham said on his website that, you know, Mormonism is a cult. I don't know if he still says that or not, but then I heard that Romney wears a ring that says we have no God but Elohim, Jehovah, Jesus, the Holy Ghost, Michael, Adam, your name here. Mormons, back me up on this one. You know what I'm talking about, right? And then I thought, well, I could vote for Romney because he's somebody of my own race, but I don't know anyone who would applaud that kind of thing. That's just racist and sick. And then he said that stupid thing about Jeep and shipping the jobs to China, which was untrue. And if he just read that report, he would have known. I think that's just lazy. I mean, is it me or does Romney just seem like a total retard and not the good kind? I mean, Russia, our #1 geopolitical foe, corporations are people? I'm sorry, my friend. No. So I think I've written Romney off, but he still seems to have way more write-offs than I do because he's paying only 13% taxes, on $20 million. I mean, this guy makes as much as I do in a year, basically in 10 hours. It's crazy. I don't know how he's doing that. Of course, I could vote for Obama, sure, but I am extremely disappointed with the fact that this man has not been able to fulfill absolutely every single little promise he made back in '08. And I don't want to hear about how the Republican leadership got together on Inauguration Day to figure out how to thwart the guy for 4 years. He's the president. He's bigger than that, okay? Or at least he should be. Now, has he done some good things? Sure. He pulled the economy out of the free fall back in '08. He saved the American automotive industry, and yes, okay, he killed bin Laden, okay, but Guantanamo's still there, right? The Patriot Act is still in force, and I don't care that those are things you really can't do, in a first term if you want to get reelected. Strategy, schmategy, okay? I don't care. So now the question is, do I just completely throw my vote away on some third-party candidate? Because none of those people, let's face it, has a snowball's chance in hell of winning the White House, right? But, it would allow me to feel, I'd be able to circumnavigate the whole two-party system and feel morally superior because I could say, hey, I'm not playing your game. Am I right? Now, of course, the downside is that if the wrong guy gets into the White House because I threw my vote away, then, we're refighting the battles on abortion, maybe even birth control from the 60s and 70s. We are, looking at maybe back alley abortions, the defunding of Planned Parenthood, the Supreme Court. It's scary stuff. But I'd be able to stand back and say, hey, I didn't vote for any of these fools, okay? And really, shouldn't the voting experience be all about me anyway? So that's my dilemma, but I'll tell you what's not a dilemma. Voting to keep this show going by heading on over to MrDeity.com and clicking the donate button to donate, set up a financial subscription, or buy a DVD. And for everyone who's already contributed, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, in all seriousness, voting really is our civic responsibility. So whomever you decide to vote for, make sure you head out next Tuesday and cast your ballot if you're Democrat, Wednesday if you're Republican. This is a really important election and we owe it to each other as citizens, right? So now, there is one more thing. If you are voting Republican, make sure that you bring your photo ID. You need a photo ID. You need a utility bill with a current address. You need your Social Security card. You need your college transcripts. Let's see what else. I think you need your FICA scores and your birth certificate. Long form. Don't forget that. Oh, hold on 1 second. I'm getting a call. Got to take this. Hello? Nope, still undecided. I'm not in Ohio. I'm in California. Hello? Hello? Really?